Welcome everyone to our core mobility workout. We're working our core muscles, center muscles, but we're also working our range of motion. And here we go, starting in wide stance. Go down with your hips, find your wide stance, and then grab your inner knees and roll down, diving, arching your back and rolling up. So this workout today is focusing on mobility. So I would like you to go big range of motion, which means open your knees, work on your hip opening. So press your knees out as much as you can. Dip as low as you can. Find your deep wide squat here, your sumo squat. And then roll whatever you can through your spine, warming up and mobilizing your spine here. Fantastic. Get up for 10 seconds. We have 10 seconds of rest. Then we start for another 45 seconds. Here we go. Side bending, fingers are behind your ears, so you want to open your arms to the sides, so you're spreading out those elbows, and then side bend in your wide squat. Again, working on range of motion here means that you're going to test how far you can go to each of those sides, maybe even turning your head, looking up, upwards, so you're moving all the way up into your cervicals, creating increased suppleness, more ease, greater mobility, but also greater strength because you have more range of motion. Now getting into the work, starting with side leg lifts on your left leg, right leg is working. Come into balance position, balance on your left leg, and then lift your right leg a little bit like a ballerina to the side. So I would like you to bend your standing leg some. Kneecaps are pointing towards your toes. Then brace your core, suck your navel in. Tummy comes in, and then find your balance position with the arms spread out. Pull those fingers away from the shoulders and keep lifting your leg up. I would like you not to wobble too much or bend or hinge over to the side just a little. This flying leg here is the one that's working on the outside of our glutes, our side core. Other side. Here comes the side leg lift on the other side, and then we do a little bit of more stretching, I promise. So standing on your right leg, now lift the left side up. Bend the standing knee a little bit, as much as you can. So the more you're bending, the more you're working your thighs and glutes. The more controlled you're lifting your left leg here, the more you're working on your outer glutes and on your oblique muscles, which is your side tummy, your side abdominal muscles. So why do we need mobility? With greater mobility, we increase function of our whole body, including our internal organs. So our organs, our muscles can work better. So let's stretch it out to the sides here a little bit. Come back into your wide stance. And remember, this is more about mobility. It's quite a long workout. It's more than 20 minutes. So go easy on you. If your thighs are burning right now, you can go a little higher up and start shifting all the way to the side. That's a movement we don't do that often. So you might hear something cracking in your back. I always do. But it does feel good and it does feel better once everything shifted back into position. And you might find that now you can really shift further since we're really warmed up. And the further we go, the more fun it is. Come back up into standing. We're doing side leaning crunches. 2 workout exercises here, and then we stretch again. So come onto your left leg. Left leg is turned out a little bit more than with these side leg lifts. And now bend the knee out, lean over to the side, so that the right leg is lifting, and then crunch in the air. Nice hovering position here with the body bent over, hinging to the side, and the knee coming in. So you want to touch your knee with your hands. If you can also touch your calves or your ankle, your foot, just to go a little bit further. I'm staying quite upright here with the upper body, but you could also crunch forward, or that's really difficult on your balance. So come and try on the other side. Shake it out, wiggle, wobble if you need to. And then balance on your right leg and hinge over all the way to the side. Yeah, this is quite a challenge for your balance here. So bend your right knee a lot, kneecaps pointing towards your toes. Everything is turned out, starting from your hips. So turn the whole leg out, then hinge over and crunch it all together in the air. Now, remember, breathing gives energy. So give yourself more energy through the breath. Proper inhale, proper exhales. Breathe as slow as you can so you don't get any CO2 or O2 over or under concentration. Promised, we're gonna flex and stretch afterwards. So here we go. Come into a wide stance, really wide stance this time. So we're stretching our adductors, our hamstrings, bend all the way forward. Now, two options. You can either do this forward fold dynamically and then come up into that rotation, or you're simply staying with the upper body parallel to the floor and you just rotate. Depends a bit on the flexibility of your hamstrings and how warmed up you are. So if you want to go a little bit more stretchy on your hamstrings, bounce forward into that forward fold and then come up into that rotation. Otherwise, just stay easy, upper body parallel to the floor. Make sure to rotate your head. Remember, mobility training, we need full range of motion. Then find your plank, come onto the floor. Standard plank position, so the hands stay stable underneath your shoulders, hips shoulder height. And now we go with a knee in, extending the leg, knee in and switch. Knee, extend, knee, switch. Knee, extends, knee, switch. So this is kind of fast. If you want to do a more mobility version of this, you can go lower, but focusing on going all the way. Knee comes through, leg kicks out backwards, knee comes through again, and then change sides. So your choice. We have a lot of cardio and boosters in this series, so you can go a little bit on mobility as well here. I'm sure you did the right thing for you, for your day, for your form, for your fitness. It's all for you. So here's another plank. If you need a break, you can always pause the video. Otherwise, find your plank again, and we're lifting arms forward here. This is a bit of an upper back workout, working the latissimus here, the trapezius, the rear deltoid, but also a core strengthener, because I would like you to focus on pulling your tummy in, bracing your hip points, pulling your hip points together, and trying to keep those hip points parallel to the floor. Hip points stay parallel to the floor as much as possible. I can't really do it. Maybe you can. Try it. Whew. And you can come up now. A little bit of a shake for your wrists and shoulders and elbows, and then come up into standing. Grab one hand, lean over to the side, and then come back up. Now you can use your breath and exhale, side leaning. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lean over to the side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhaling reduces the tone of our muscles. So why not? If you want to stretch, use this and exhale into the stretch, so your muscle tone goes down, and you can ease it more easily into the stretch. Bit of a trick here. Exhaling while stretching makes you more flexible. Coming back into our core work, but this is also great mobility work. So we're coming into a bear pose, knees 90 degrees bent, and then flip it over into crab position. Hips are extended, so you do want to keep your knees 90 degrees bent. We're coming from bear into crab, back into bear, and you can roll this over a few times, as much space as you have. Roll over to one side, and then come back and roll over to the other side. And I would like you to experiment with, like, for how long can you watch the floor when you're turning over into crab? So it's a bit like trying to spot the floor while turning, and then the head goes around in a split second. Pause the video if you need some rest for your wrists, elbows, shoulders. Otherwise, stay in bear position, and we kick through to the sides. We've done that before, so you should now know where to open and where to kick. So we're opening the right arm, kicking with the left leg, opening the left arm, kicking with the right leg. So the challenge I would like to give you here, because this is mobility, to go as far as you can with this kicking leg. So don't just stay in the middle, try to kick yourself a little bit out of your center by really extending this leg to the side and pulling the elbow that's opening back behind your ear. Elbow pulls back behind your ear, opening that chest here. So wherever you put the focus, you can change the same exercise, but different. Rolling back, coming up into lunge. This is really for fun. And we do a little bit of spine mobility here, but mostly we're just having fun. So roll back onto your cushioned floor, push back from your hands to come back forward and get up into lunge position. So in order to make this rolling thing as easy as possible, really curl, really suck your tummy in, round yourself. Remember not to come all the way onto your head, so we don't put too much weight onto our cervicals. Stay on your shoulders and then push back from your hands, come back up into this low lunge position. More like a superhero coming up position. Very cool. Stepping out, right and left. Here we go. Come back up into standing. Bend your standing knee a little, and then step out with the right leg to the sides while you're rotating your upper body. Focus on mobility for this video. So you want to sit as low as you can while bending in your hips and then going full on in this rotation. That's why we're lifting those arms, giving us a little bit more momentum here in the shoulder girdle. And now rotate your upper body as much as you can. We're closing the elbow into the knee and then opening back out when the leg opens. Full range of motion. Here we work a lot on the function of internal organs. So we're twisting our core here. Shake it out, wobble it out, run it out, skip it out, whatever you need to do. It's a bit of cardio here. But hey, it's good to warm the body up when we do stretching and mobility. So bend the right knee. This time the left leg is stepping out to the side. Bend the knee as much as you can, working the thigh and the glutes. Kneecap pointing towards the knee, but staying behind your toes. So you're really sitting backwards and down. And then come into your twisting motion. In case you find it hard to breathe, find a spot in your chest you can breathe in. So maybe your tummy, with all this twisting and crunching, is a little tight for breathing. So breathe into your chest, into your rib cage. Find your rhythm. 2 more planks. This time we're coming into elbow plank. So elbows underneath the shoulders. forearms are parallel. You can watch the ground moving because we are pushing forward and backwards from the ankles. So the challenge here is to keep the hips shoulder height. And right now we're working mostly the mobility of our big toe joint and of our ankles. So really push forward here, not onto the toes, but roll over your big toe mound, pushing with the toes into the floor and then pushing those heels back. While we're bracing our core, pulling the tummy in, rising ourselves here onto our elbows. Fantastic. Sit down for a bit. You have 10 seconds of break, and then we're coming into a side plank here. Right elbow down, right elbow. Come onto a right side plank, and then press your hips up for hovering into your side plank. No bending forward or backwards. Help with the forearm to really keep yourself here on the side. Make sure to extend your head. And this is really hard, especially at the end of this video. So I know you're hurting. I know you can do this. It's just 30 more seconds. You can do 13 more seconds and then you can lie down. We're not done yet, but you can lie down, I promise. 4 more seconds, pushing up. And have a seat for 10 seconds before you swing those legs around or roll around for side plank on the left elbow. Side plank on the left and then pushing those hips up. For the feet, you can either have your feet one on top of each other, like I'm doing here, or you can have them one in front of the other. Both is possible. The one with the feet one on top of the other is a bit more difficult for your balance, so you will have to work your arm a bit more. So it's a bit harder for your triceps, for your shoulder. So if you're a little weak in the upper girdle, you can always put one foot on top of the other to ease the balancing here from the upper body. 6 more seconds, you can do it, and then we lie down. Promise. And here we go. I keep my promises. Bicycle. Last exercise for the core before we start stretching. So lie down on your back. Shoulders and head stay on the floor. Then extend both arms and legs. Hands over your shoulders. Legs are extended over your hip. And then diagonally extend and reach out. So I want you to focus on your tummy. Tummy stays in, but not crushing your lower back onto the ground. So you still have a little bit of an arch. So you're basically lying on your hips, on your sacrum, and on your rib cage rather than pressing the lower back into the ground. Why not? Because this compresses our vertebrae too much and we end up hurting ourselves and our intervertebral discs. And no one wants that. So come up into standing, get up slowly. We have 45 seconds of stretch. So you can take it easy. Come up into standing. Feet are parallel, heels dig into the ground, and then grab and interlace your fingers behind your back and find your lift. Increase your suppleness in your chest, in your front deltoids, front shoulder. Get a bit more of range of motion and movement capability here in the shoulders and in the chest. You can lift as high as you can, but don't hinge forward or collapse forward with the shoulder. It's all opening to the back. Perfect. Last stretch, right side, left side. We're starting with the right. Right ankle is crossing over the left knee. And now, however you want to do it, you can either just bend the hips and knees slightly and just sit back, or you're going full on sit back as much as you can until you feel that stretch in your piriformis, deep down in your glutes. And you can either have your hands in your hips Or if you still have energy left, you can lift your arms to the sides, opening the shoulder girdle, dropping those shoulders on your rib cage, and pushing those thumbs backwards to open the chest. Keep opening the chest here. Straight spine, elongate from the tailbone to the crown of your head. And open your knee. Perfect. Shake it out, shake, shake, shake. Last one, we are crossing over the left over the right. So this is just as well a toner on your right thigh and glute, but also a hip opener on the left side here. So focus on opening the knee to the side. It's not like a crossing the legs over while sitting one. It's more of a really opening the knee to the side, like a pigeon pose, but standing. And then raise those arms if you can. A little bit of a hero pose here. So I hope you enjoyed the mobility. For more ease, better range of motion and movement capabilities. And I'll see you all next time for more core, hip and butt.